Hey kiddos! All right, we are back again today for a little review mini lesson on character traits. Okay, so we're going to dig in again with rock, paper, scissors, the legend of rock, paper, scissors, okay, and talk about character traits. Now, we have spent a lot of time talking about characters, and we know that there are two types of traits, inside traits and outside traits. Let me get my little laser pointer. There we go. Inside traits and outside traits, right? Ooh, my Wi-Fi is being a little laggy. Outside traits are physical, what they look like. Inside traits are how a character is thinking, acting, feeling, and speaking. Now, I know you can't see me, but I'm sure that you saw in your head me making those hand motions because I've done them a million times, right? And so you guys know how to do them too. And so when we talk about character traits, it's when we make an inference. We have to make a guess, right? An educated guess about maybe how they're feeling or maybe why they're feeling that way. We describe those characters using words like angry, sad, joyful, happy, okay? So that's what we talk about when we say character traits. Now, I want you to think about Percy, right? We're going to use him as an example today. So an outside trait, remember this is physical, what they look like. Percy's 12. He's got brown hair. He's got green eyes, okay? Inside, this is where we're going to pick some words to describe Percy based on how he's thinking, acting, feeling, and speaking. So we say Percy was confused and overwhelmed in the beginning of the book, but brave because he faced all of those challenges on his quest. So we pick these words, confused, overwhelmed, and brave. And we make these inferences by thinking about what we know about Percy. How was he thinking? How was he acting? How was he feeling? How was he speaking? And we're able to come up with these three words to describe him. So let's do a little example here. So this is the graphic organizer that you're going to be asked to do today. And you're going to do it over 0, but I think you're going to end up doing this again over a couple other characters too. But today I'm going to do it over paper. Okay, remember I'm doing this over the Legend of Rock, Paper, Scissors. Okay, I've done rock a little bit. We've talked about scissors, in the setting. So I thought it was time for paper to have his 15 minutes of fame. Okay, so here's my graphic organizer. It says, what does the character say? What the character thinks? What the character does? I would like for you to try to pull word for word here. So here where it says what the character says, I went to paper, and I went to that moment in the book where he treks across the desk to face the giant box monster. And he says, taste my fury, giant box monster. So those are words that he actually said. They came straight out of his mouth, okay? So then I had to ask myself, well, what was paper thinking? Okay, so here we go. I pulled a line out of the book that I thought kind of helped us see what was going on in Paper's mind. It says, even though Paper was the smartest warrior in all the land, he was sad because no one could outwit him. So he's thinking to himself, I'm pretty smart and I'm a pretty great warrior, but no one can beat me. So that's kind of what he's thinking, right? So then what the character does, this kiddos is part of that acting part. How is Paper acting? What is he doing? Okay, so again, I found a sentence that showed me what Paper does. It says, Paper set out across Desk Mountain to find his match. And it tells me that he's leaving his safe little home to go find somebody to battle. Okay, so all three of these are word for word from the text, and that's how I would like you to do your graphic organizer today. So then down here on the bottom, my last question says, based on what the character says, thinks, and does, I can infer. So I need to make an inference here about Paper. So these are my clues in the text, right? He's saying, taste my fury, giant box monster, and he was smart, but no one could beat him, and he's trekking out across Desk Mountain to find his match. So when I think about all of these things, and I think about what do I know? What do I know about somebody who leaves the safety of their home, who is sad because they can't find anyone to beat them, and they're saying things like, taste my fury, giant box monster? Well, I can infer that he's determined. Okay? What that means when you're determined, it means you never give up. So I said, I can describe Paper as determined. That's the word I chose here, because he never stopped until he found his match. And that's what he's doing through here. He's saying those words. He's thinking, I've got to find someone to beat me. He's setting off from his safe home, and he's never going to stop until he can find someone who can beat him, right? Okay, kiddos. So Questions? Let me know on Remind, Facebook, Ask to Zoom. We can call. I've talked to several kiddos on the phone already. If you need help or you don't understand, please, 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 please let me know. I love you, kiddos, and I cannot wait to talk to you soon.